Okay, everybody, welcome back to part 2 of the 2018 Crappypasta extravaganza. Is it an extravaganza?
It's
Who?
extravagant at the very least.
Who am I to say? Who am I to say? So, if you don't know what the setup for this is, go watch the episode before this one, and play somebody different. Play as Hanzo. So as Ashley comes out, beret and wig in hand, he says, "All right, everyone, it's about that time. Boys to men, ABC, BBD." I am full of references for no one but myself. And he takes the bowl that the popcorn is in, and he dumps it on the floor all haphazardly, but no one's worried because it isn't their house. So they're like, well, that's his issue to clean up later on, which is the best way to look at that situation.
It really is.
And he holds a key into the air. It is a small, one would say, retro hotel key with a small tag on it with a letter. He then drops the key in the bowl. And I guess basically this would only make sense, I suppose. He drops the key in the bowl. Everybody goes woo because they know what the fuck is gonna happen. And Janice and David.
David.
I fucked that up quick. This was less than 10 seconds ago. Less than 10 seconds after the last video. They're starting to get a little concerned. They've seen their fair share of 80s television, and they have a good idea what's about to happen. Well, David's getting concerned because, David has those morals, but Janice has had 5 too many vodka gummies, and she's excitable. She's warm. She's hot in the ass. Her pussy is wet. I hope that was subtle enough.
Can I make it any clearer?
And so she's like, "Oh, we're gonna have a swinger party!" Woo! She's drunk. Like, that's kind of what I'm getting at here. This bitch is drunk. So David kind of whispers to her, "Honey, I think maybe we should we get the fuck out of here? This is some shit." And she's like, no. Let's just wait and see what actually happens. Ashley then reaches into, look, goddammit, like, I didn't think it all the way through, but no one else had keys, and that's how this works. Like, it doesn't make any sense for anybody else to have keys, because otherwise, David and Janice would have to have keys, and they didn't. So just understand there's a bowl of keys. There's a big bowl of keys. And there's a duplicate. There's 2 sets of every key. There's 2 sets of every key. So there's like 2 A's, 2 B's. Are you fucking understanding what I'm getting at here? Fuck. I'm a frustrated writer. This is not writing. I don't know what this is.
Word vomit.
Word vomit. Yes, daddy. Word vomit. I killed the Reaper. I killed him with my arrow. So Ashley begins to pass the bowl around. And he says, make sure that you don't have a matching set as your partner. Because that just wouldn't be fun. That's the whole point. So confer with your partner and make sure that you do not have a matching key. And so it's like, okay. And so when the bowl gets around to Janice and David, they begrudgingly take their keys, and Janice is still like, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's like, I don't think we're gonna actually have sex with anybody else. We just want to see what the plan is. They've done this for years. You think these people would stay married if they were all fucking each other every Halloween, David? Don't be such a cunt." She's a mean drunk. Like,
Clearly.
David loved her, but she's a mean drunk. So, okay, I don't know who said that because I thought Hanzo was Anna's dad. No, Soldier 76 is Anna's dad. Not Anna, but
Pharaoh.
Farrah. Yeah, you knew who I was talking about. The keys have been passed out. Ashley then leads everyone to his basement. A door that leads down to his basement. They walk down the surprisingly deep stairs. Deep. The staircase takes a little bit longer to get down than David anticipated. He's holding He's holding Janice's hand because she's a little wasted and he doesn't want her to fall and hurt herself. Although her falling and hurting herself would be a good excuse to get the fuck out of here. And just as he thought, oh shit, I could just push her down these stairs, they hit the bottom. Ashley reaches for a switch on the wall. He turns the light on. And then he says, okay, everyone, find your door. If any of y'all have ever seen the movie Hostel, alright, think about in Hostel when they kidnap the victims and they take them to the place and there's basically like a corridor and then there are like rooms to each side. Basically, that's what's happening. It's like, that's what's supposed to happen. And people are like meeting their nightly mate, their mate, their fucking, their fan, I don't know what the fuck you would call it. Their partners, their Halloween partners at their doors, and they go in all giddily and giggly, and it's like,
I hope they aren't doing that.
Okay. So David goes in. Yes, do I need to pay? Because if I don't, then I'll just get them later. If I do, I'll get up now because that's how money works. No one's saying my name. Do I need to come in there? Do I need to come pay? Alright, thank you. Sorry, I'm pretty sure that was loud as shit. So David goes into his room and surprisingly, he's been matched up with... You're thinking I'm going to say a Shinkashay. No. He got matched up with fucking Requise. And he's thinking, oh, great. This is going to... Yeah, see, See, yeah. This story is going to get weird fast. Like, this is... Like, if you think it was downhill before, because I was really shitty at making something up on the fly, oh, this is the part I've actually thought through. It's about to get fucked. So David's thinking to himself, oh, well, this will be alright. Like, dude seems pretty straight. I don't think he's going to want to have sex with me, so maybe, if I'm lucky, maybe Janice got matched up with a Shinkashay. He said her name in his head, and it was completely normal. Like, he didn't question it at all. Fuck. I got a lot of kills with that. Jeez. And so, David and Requise are in the room, and David's like, man, this is wild. You guys do this every year? And Requise is like, yeah, man. Every year. It's like, so...
Every single
year. And it's like, I've lived here 8 years, and every single year we do this, and I look forward to it every year. It's like, oh, you ever looked out before? Lucked out? I'm sorry. I don't know what you mean. It's like, yeah, like, you got matched up with a guy. Oh, yes, I've been matched up plenty of times, but I wouldn't call that lucking out. David thinks to himself, shit. Requise then steps forward to David and he says, I can imagine this is your first time doing something so daring, so bold. Don't be worried. I'm going to take very good care of you. No, that's not necessary. I don't think that's going to be necessary at all. Like, no. It's going to be just fine. Just come sit. Come sit with me. Like, come. Like, as David walked further into the room, he noticed this little cubicle styled room was, about 8 feet by 8 feet. It was a box. but it smelled nice, smelled clean. It had a chair, it had a fucking bench that was padded, and a small twin size bed. But there was also a table with a bowl on the table. He found that strange. He thought maybe, okay, that's just, that's damn near a mixing bowl. What the fuck are we doing with this mixing bowl here? Like, are we gonna make cookies? Are we gonna make cookies? And Requise, David didn't realize he was talking out loud. Requise says, no, not exactly gonna make cookies. More like we're gonna bake air biscuits. And he's like, what the fuck is that? And without any hesitation, Requise fucking grabs his pants. And he grabs his belt and he starts to aggressively take off his pants. He's like, I'm about to show you some shit. And he pulls down his pants and he's not wearing any fucking underwear. He wasn't wearing a costume either because him and Shinky Shay didn't get down like that. They said that was white people shit. But they did enjoy the party.
The after party especially.
Yeah, they were just here for that. He pulls down his pants and he's like, take a look at this. And he kind of thrusts his cock toward David. And David was like, oh, so the majority of stereotypes are not true. And he's like, okay, you know what, jackass, words can hurt, It's like, I'm not insecure. I'm not insecure about the size of my package. I'm just saying, you could have That's not what we're here for. Don't worry about it. And he's like, all right, you just thrust your cock at me, and you're telling me not to. All right, whatever. He takes the bowl off the table, and he would soon find out what baking air biscuits was all about. Requise proceeded to set the bowl on the floor, and he began to shit a mighty shit into this bowl. Now, editor's note, writer's note, however you want to call it. If this was me, I'd be properly scared. Like, I'd be properly unsettled, I'd say. I'd be like, this ain't where I want to be in life right now, but this is where I am. All right. He saw this man begin to shit in this bowl. I mean, it was a mighty, mighty dookie. It was a strong one. It was hearty, is what, if I could call it anything. And this is a hearty shit. And then, sorry, again, I thought most of this part out already, so I know it's coming. Still funny to me. He saw Requise begin to get. He saw Requise begin. Oh god, that's gross. He saw Requise reach into the bowl. It began to mash the turd up. That's it, turd. There's no good word for shit. There's no. It's like asshole. Like if you're trying to write erotica, like there's no good sexy word for asshole or nutsack. Like have you ever, like there is not a good way to describe nutsacks and assholes while trying to be sexy. Like sometimes you just gotta go for it and just be like, I'm gonna fuck your ass and like suck my nutsack. Like it just doesn't. There's no way to make it sound good. He reached into the bowl and started to knead the shit with his bare hands. Now a normal person would have ran, but David was in pure shock, like shock. Like he shook hands with Cole McGrath. Also, not a reference for everybody. and fuck, what's his nigga's name? Oh yeah, fucking Requise. Then took his hands out, rubbed them together. There's fecal, the stench of that could only be described as pure human dookies was filling the air. It permeated everything. He tried to use the deflated T-Rex head to cover his mouth and nose, but it was not mighty enough. No, it was not mighty enough. The stink, it filled the air, and then Requise took his hands and wrapped them around his moderately sized penis, which at this point was very erect. And he started to jerk his gherkin. He began jerking his gherkin with his own dookie. which would have been normal, which would have been okay. But he came at David, not came at David. He started to move toward David, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you see, oh, you're gonna suck this fucking cock, you fucking cuck."
You fucking cuck.
It's like that. I'm pretty sure he was just doing that because he was upset, but whatever, it's fine. Life happens. What?
No, he did make fun of the size of his penis.
I mean, yeah, you had it coming. And it was at that point David noped the fuck out of there. David decided, I've had my fill. Thank you, sir. I'll be leaving now. And he quickly tried to gross. He tried to dash past Requise. Requise grabbed at him. He got Dookie on his arm. It was the worst ever. That's not the worst. That's not actually the worst. It gets way worse than that. My throat was hurting when I said it was the worst ever. I actually hurt the inside of my throat. I had to take a second. I could have played it off like nothing was wrong, but I didn't think about that part until I started talking about it. And so David was able to get out of the small room. If I was actually write this shit down, I could actually make it better and like actually make it worth listening to. But again, freestyling it. This is what I do. This might go till Friday. I don't know. I can't say that I'm upset. I'd be upset about it. He got out into the hallway and he started banging on the other room doors. He was determined to find Janice and get the fuck out of there. He banged on one door. He opened it, and as he opened the door, he saw what could only be described as a live reenactment of the 2 Girls 1 Cup video, which David only watched on a dare that one time, and don't judge people because of the porn they watch when it's legal. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Like, just leave him alone. Every door he opened subsequently in the attempts to find Janice, he was met with a horrific stench of just shit. Like, there's no cute way to say it. There's no... God!
So, was everyone in this place just into shit?
See, this is why we ask questions. Yes. The answer is yes. That is the crux of this story, good sir. Everyone here.
They're not only swingers, but they're also shit swingers.
Yeah, they're scat swingers. Yes.
Every door confused with scat slingers.
No, because not that it's much worse or much better, depending on how you look at life. I don't know. And so as he opened each door, he was just bombarded with the smell of human feces smeared everywhere. He could smell the smell of what could only be described as the sex. It was sex. It was the stink of sex. It was vaginal fluids and sweaty nut smell. You know that smell?
Lose.
Huh?
We're gonna lose.
Oh no, that's not good. The smell of sweaty nutsack. If you never, I don't know. Some people probably never smelled like a hot nutsack. A hot nutsack has a smell, like. And anybody who says like, "Oh, my pussy doesn't have," yeah, it does. Anyway. He went up and down. Oh yeah, we did lose. Shit. Did we live in there?
No, we're.
I don't care. Don't care. All right.
And we're not getting paid, but you know.
Okay. Was that 3 out of 4? Shit, we still did pretty fucking good. So I'm gonna finish the story now, if y'all don't mind. He ran up and down the hallway, searching every room in panic, trying to find his wife. Oh shit, sorry. Trying to find his. Oops. He ran up and down the hallway, panic-stricken, trying to find his newly married wife. Every door he opened seemed to be completely empty. Short of, people fucking and doo-doo and piss everywhere. Because that's kind of the whole point of what they were there for. He went further down the hall. The lights toward the middle of the hall seemed to stop. Maybe he had reached a part of the corridor that wasn't being used tonight. He wasn't sure, but he knew he would find his wife. He was determined to find his fucking wife. He found a light switch on the wall. He flung it open. The pristine condition of the rooms from before were clearly a facade. As he moved further down the hall, the stench became pungent. The air became heavy and pungent. He was like, "Oh, this isn't good." I don't know why you started a match. That wasn't.
I thought we were just gonna keep
No. You know what? Yeah, fine, sure. Hold on. We'll be back next episode.